Okay guys, my voice is going out, so I'm going to do this with a movie for y'all. Today you're drafting your hospital, so you're going to take your notes that you had, and then you're going to start designing it. Now, some people, they absolutely know what shape they want it to be, so they might be like, oh, I want to make, a shape of jelly bean, and then from there they'll go in and say, okay, these are my front doors, this is my check-in desk, this is going to be where I put the ER, and here's where the ambulance can pull up. So some people start with that shape. Other people, that doesn't work for them. They might want to build it kind of like Legos and think, okay, so I know, like, if I come into the hospital and the first thing I'm going to do is check in and figure out where I'm supposed to go. So I've got my doors, and there's my little check-in desk again. Okay, now the next place I'd probably go would either be to the waiting room or to the ER. So, you know what, let's come and we'll put a waiting room right here. And then I'll come and put the ER next to that. So, like, if you were really bad off, they could rush you through these doors right here. And if you were not as bad off, but you needed to wait first, they'd send you there. And then here are my ER beds. We had talked about them being separated with a curtain, and so I have that on my notes. So I could make note of that in my drawing. So you can build it out from there, like how you would approach the hospital. Another way to do it is if you definitely know something you absolutely want to have. For example, I think that I really want the center of my building to be like an open-air courtyard. Okay? So I can do the center, and I'll go ahead and put my fountain. I'll put my path that's winding around. I'll put my trees. Okay, now inside this is, fresh air, but then there's going to be doors on each of the four sides. And then around that, I'm going to have the cafeteria. So, like, here is my Italian food. Here are soups and sandwiches. Here is Asian fusion. And here is a salad bar. Now, the reason I wanted this to be open, big windows, so that I can have people sitting at their tables, enjoying what they see. And then later on, I'm going to go and I'm going to put the little high top seating, like that counter seating, around the window. So if you're eating by yourself, you could just go right there and you can look out and be peaceful. And then I could build out from there like, oh, okay. So here's the doors out from the food court section. I think from there should be easy to get to a waiting room or the OR. So you can build like that from something you know you want. You're going to be building or drawing out your draft here. It has things to remember like calm, easy to clean, will withstand lots of use. It also has things that you have to include, like the check-in, patient rooms, waiting room. Visitation room is where large groups of people would visit. So think of it like a den or a parlor. Surgeries, cafeteria. These things you have to include. These are other things, some of which you and I covered. You can choose to include them or not. That's up to you. What you need now is the layout. Later on, you can do other pictures and other, views of it. So, for example, part of what you may have today when you're working on your draft is like this. Like you've got the different floor plans. If you are doing, multiple floors, then just show us like a layer cake that's gotten cut apart. Like, here's my first floor. Here's my second floor. And here's my third floor. And then I'll go out and I'll divide from there, like dividing up what's in it. You can also think about, like, if you have this done, you can think about, like, what do I want the front of my hospital to look like? Or what would my garden look like? Or what would my lobby look like? That's totally fine too. The only thing you absolutely have to have is your floor plan. Okay? So think about how it's going to be. Remember, this is a draft. That means you can make lots of mistakes. You can change it. You can mess up. You can use the back. You can use the front. And I have extra paper if you guys need it. All right. Work hard, because next week our goal is to put it on the final copy.